The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. All right, let's do some sports concepts and rationalizations. We call it the 10-minute drill. Bounce around what's going on in the sports world. At the end, just for listening and hanging out with us, we're going to give you a prize. And today, a nice little prize.
We're going to say thank you for being a friend.
Yes.
And we're going to give you a floral arrangement delivered by our pals over at Q and Flowers. And you'll dine on us with $25 to Donato's Pizza.
It's a nice little date night.
Pizza and flowers, that's a date night. Just go pick up a bottle of wine and you're good.
Might get some MSL out of that, folks.
Bottle of red, maybe bottle of white.
Bottle of red.
Put on Notting Hill.
Watch Notting Hill, man. That's always a good one. Hugh Grant.
Sure.
Julia Roberts.
Why not?
And the kicker from The Replacements.
Yeah.
As the roommate. Who is that guy?
I'm having a brain fart on his name. He was in one of the Spider-Man movies.
Let me tell you something. I've watched Notting Hill a ton of times. I don't know why. It just happened to be popping on. Like, I'll watch a scene from it. That scene where he brings the famous actress to their house for dinner is pretty good.
Reese Ifans.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kicker, he was the lizard in the reboot of Spider-Man.
Speaking of television, I watched Hard Knocks last night. There's only one left. We haven't even had a game.
4?
Yeah, and it's carried me now. I told you I came back into it. The first one I was like, and they've developed. But last night was interesting, and I will tell you this: they had some poignant scenes from, the couple of days where the players, wanted to talk about and use their platforms to talk about the social unrest in our country. And there was some powerful stuff. I really like Anthony Lynn. I feel bad for him because I think, losing Derwin James is going to hurt him. I'm not sure. They got to transition to Herbert. They have the look of being a, 5-11 football team, even though they have talent. They have Bosa and Ingram and Austin Eckler. And they had some really good, I think I like the Chargers scenes more than I like the Rams scenes. But the Rams PR guy was showing McVay the shooting for the first time, and he was taken aback, and and he brought his leadership group in, and they talked, and then Anthony Lynn, they were going to have a scrimmage in the brand new stadium. And they got in the locker room, and he said, "Guys, we got to talk, man. You guys are." And then at the end of their talk, and a lot of them, spoke from the heart, and it was good stuff. It was poignant, and it makes you wish you could see how your football team, handled some of this stuff. But I thought Anthony Lynn, I have a lot of respect for that guy, and I hope he does well as a head coach. He
former Jags assistant. A lot of people know.
Yeah, and then there was some video of him as well. It's funny because he was a running back in the NFL. He won 2 Super Bowls with the Bronx. He was like a backup running back
on the Terrell Davis team.
And I didn't know that. I never envisioned Anthony Lynn as a running back, but they showed some video of him, and it was good. But I like how he handles his guys. I like how he talks to his guys. I like, Herbert had a couple tough days, and then he threw some, and then it clicked, and he throws a beautiful ball. I've told you that before.
Yeah, so did Blaine Gabbert.
What? Throw a beautiful ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't playing Gabbert. I promise you that. But it's interesting to watch that part of it as well, the football side of things come up. And then, of course, they did highlight Van Jefferson. A lot of talk about Van Jefferson.
I told you he's been turning heads out there.
But we did not get to the Derwin James injury, so that hadn't occurred when they went to post, I guess. But it was a good episode anyway, nonetheless. And there's only one episode left. It's amazing. And they cut a couple guys, and it's sad. One of the guys – this is the worst, by the way. First off, you're getting cut, and they still got 80, 90 guys on the roster.
Yeah,
so
that tells you you're way far away
way
from
down.
Yeah.
Right. And then they bring in this
like Leonard.
Right.
Not one of the best 90 on the team.
Yeah. Then they bring in this poor kid who's a linebacker, and they say, we're going to let you go. We appreciate everything you've done, but we're bringing in, a couple more linebackers. So
you're not good enough.
It's one thing is like the backup quarterback was cut. And that's one thing. But the linebacker, wait a minute, you're cutting me and you're bringing in linebackers? Okay. I guess I'm not quite
that's
ready.
why we're cutting you. You play linebacker and you're not good enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, I saw Venus lost last night, right?
Well, yeah, she's 40, dude.
Yeah, God bless her. She's been,
Yeah,
it's been a
so I
tremendous
don't know why
run.
they keep playing. It's weird.
Yeah.
When's the last time Venus Williams won a tennis match, dude?
Can Serena win this one?
I don't know.
Or is she not going to get another? Will Serena win one more, yes or no? Because age is,
If she were, it would have to be this one has the best chance because it's here. Don't look at any tennis. Turn away.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Is the Osaka girl playing in this one?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the only one I know.
Osaka.
Osaka. Somebody told me who the number one seed was, and I've heard of her, but it doesn't resonate.
Who? Yeah,
on the women's side.
Well, I was gonna. It's funny you bring that up. Mm-hmm. I was gonna ask you. Did you know who? Where is this person? Stand by.
I'm gonna guess one. I'm gonna guess the answer is one of my favorite names of all time, Angeliki Kanellopoulos.
Yeah, not her. I don't really know her.
Angeliki Kanellopoulos, one time women's professional tennis player. Used to see her up at the Bausch and Lomb. Angeliki Kanellopoulos.
Pliskova is the top seed.
Yeah, Pliskova.
Yeah, it's amazing that Osaka's the 4th seed.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's in it. No, the question I had for you was I wanted you to identify someone for me.
Okay.
Madison Keys is the 7th seed. All these names you've heard
Sloane
of.
Stevens is in
Sloane
it.
Stevens is the 26th seed. I didn't know they went that far. Serena is the 3 seed. But again, you've heard of all these people, correct? All the names that I've told you that I've mentioned so far?
Yes.
All these women's names?
Yes. The men?
No. I want to know, have you heard of Sophia Kenin?
Sophia Kenin?
Sophia Kenin. Sophia Kenin, Kenin.
No.
So you don't know if she's, where she's from, obviously, then, right? She's American. So okay. Sophia Kenin. Yeah, she's the 2 seed.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Wait, what? Sophia Kenin? Who? I've never heard the name.
Yeah.
Never. Not one time.
Sophia Kenin.
Not in the field, Hick.
Huh.
The 2 seed.
Wow.
Ahead of Osaka. Ahead of Serena.
She must be playing a lot.
She's a 21-year-old Russian-born, but a U.S. citizen.
Is she kind of an attractive young girl?
I can't really tell that from her picture here. I mean,
She brought. I think I read an article on her recently.
She has 2 singles titles in 2020.
She have a sister.
5 in her career.
Did her parents move her here for tennis?
I'm just looking at her page.
Okay.
I think probably. That sounds like a voluntary kind of deal.
Yeah, I think she's. I think I read something about her.
But I was just amazed. Sophia Kenin. I mean, they're showing her highlights. I'm like, why are they showing this match? And I see Sophia Kenin. Never again. This is the first time in my life, going back to being a 5th grader, that you could tell me one of the 2 top seeds in a tennis tournament, and I've never heard their name.
Yeah.
Like Pliskova, I've heard her name. I would be surprised if she's the 1 seed. I wouldn't have even known she was a seeded player, but I've heard the name.
Child prodigy, promising junior, reaching number 2 in the world after winning the Orange Bowl at the age of 16. Runner-up at the 2015 U.S. Open Girls Singles event. Also won the USTA Girls 18 National Championship. Made her professional debut in 2018 as a teenager. Reached 4 WTA Singles Finals in 2019, 3 of which she won. She had a run at the 2020 Aussie Open, highlighted by a victory over number 1 Ashley Barty.
Yeah, I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah, so
not the 2 seed though.
Beat Serena in the French in 19, and made it to round 4. So
only 21.
Born in Moscow, family moved to the U.S. a few months after she was born. They had previously left the Soviet Union.
Oh, so they didn't come for tennis. A few months after she was born, she was raised here.
Yeah.
Right, you said a few months after she was born they moved here. Yeah, so it wasn't like they came when she was 13.
But her primary coach has always been her father.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, I think I read an article on her a couple years ago, but yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. No
amazing. I one more question before we close it up.
Mm-hmm.
We sure the Marlins aren't going to make the playoffs? We positive? They added Starling Marte. They're starting to do these little things, Nick, that these Cinderella story teams do.
Well, I mean, is it?
I'm not saying
could they make the playoffs? Yes.
Okay. And now
because
I know
you can eliminate certain
teams.
and
we're going to use a lot of buts here, but nobody in the world.
No.
I don't care if it's a 10-game schedule.
Yes.
This is way ahead of what anybody would have thought.
Yes.
And look, Starling Marte's a really nice player.
Yes.
Like surprising
big trade.
Point being, I think that we can now fairly judge Jeter even more moving forward because it's clear that the flushing is done. Now we're building, so now we're going to find anybody could be a flusher.
Yeah.
I mean, we could all go in and
easy
clear.
To flush.
It's easy to flush, but what do you build back with? And
all right, Phillies or Marlins? Who you picking?
The Marlins.
You know what's
the Phillies.
You know what's interesting? The Marlins' percentage of making
it's way lower than the other ones,
and it's gone down. They have no confidence in them. I think the Phillies will catch them. I think the Braves will win the East. So the Marlins will have to be that extra team. But at 16-15, the Giants are 8. They could beat the Giants, the Rockies, the Brewers. Those are the teams that they would beat if they. So yeah, I think.
Well, they're right now. They would be in with. Even as the wild card. If the Philly got in, they would be one of the next two teams. Mm-hmm. They're in the top 8.
They got 4 coming up with Baltimore, which is. Oh no, they got to make those up. Again, I don't know what
they got. Here's the deal.
Schedule wise,
Their last.
They're going to Tampa.
Their last
and Atlanta in the next 6.
Yeah, we'll find out more.
So
their last off day is Thursday.
Wait a minute.
Then they got 4 doubleheaders this month.
This is where rubber meets the road. They got 3 with Tampa, 3 with Atlanta, and then 7 in a row with the Phillies.
Yeah, and that's in those.
So then ask me after that, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they are, but I just think that we're probably far enough along now.
Atlanta gets them at the second to last series for 4 games. Atlanta may lay down and say, go ahead and make it.
They might be in by then.
Yeah, they'll be
Here
in.
are the interesting schedule quirks. Now, one of those, Yankees-Jays play 10 times in the final, week.
Right.
I say week, but then 10 games of their final 15. Yeah. All right. Here are some more schedule quirks involving playoff caliber teams. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals play the Brewers 10 times in the final 14 days.
Right.
They mentioned the Mets. You probably don't want to hear their scenario.
It doesn't matter. We're out.
Yeah, it says they need to go now 15-9 to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they can't.
Probably not happening.
You don't understand.
You play your final 10 against Braves, Rays, and Nats.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah,
it was obvious. They started Urado.
Okay.
They started a guy I'd never heard of. They don't have. I will say this. I buried him, and rightfully so. I was dead on with this. Listen, they have no pitching at all, and they got to play 600 baseball when they haven't played close to 600 baseball.
Fair enough.
They can't make it. They're out.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Two other scheduling quirks. Look for the Astros to make a big push here. You ready for this one?
Yeah, Mariners.
They've got 20 games remaining against the 4 teams that have packed it in.
Yeah.
Angels, Rangers, Mariners, D-backs.
Oh, yeah, going around.
So they're going to get real good.
Yeah.
The White Sox play their final 14 because the White Sox have moved into first place.
It's my team, by the way.
They play their last
Their
last 14 come against 4 contenders: Twins, Reds, Indians, Cubs.
Dang it.
Now, one other baseball news, because I find this is an excellent column I read from. I don't go to SI.com much. I don't. They're not in my wheelhouse. But this baseball article I read was fantastic. But they did an unbelievable job of breaking down the trade deadline. And the one thing that they noted were the 5 most aggressive teams at the playoff deadline were Padres, Blue Jays, Marlins, Reds, and A's.
Okay.
You know what they all have in common?
What?
They've had no postseason success for eons. Padres.
So they're like, let's get in there.
Padres, no playoff appearances in 13 years.
Yeah.
Haven't won a playoff series in 21 years. Never won the World Series.
So it means something to these teams, even in this season.
Well, and because it's this season.
Yeah.
Because it's awkward and odd, and you don't have to be
Yeah.
sustainedly great. Just, there's also, let me tell you what's going to happen. Look, the favorites are much dicier situations than they've ever been in
100%.
before because you face a 2 out of 3. Like, say the Mets did make it.
Yeah.
And now you got to face Jacob deGrom, maybe.
Yeah.
You might pitch him twice.
Yeah.
But
that won't be an issue. Don't worry.
No, I know. But say it's the Reds. You got to face Sonny Gray and Trevor Bauer.
Yeah. Sonny Gray got roughed up last night.
But you can beat any team in the league in a 2 out of 3. All right.
I hear you.
I just thought this was a fast. Blue Jays. Just a 4-year postseason absence, but no World Series appearances in 26 years. The Marlins haven't been to the playoffs in 16 years. The Marlins, it's hard to believe you forget this. They've been to the postseason twice in their history.
And won them both.
And both times won the World Series.
Yeah.
Reds haven't been to the World Series in 29 years, haven't been to the playoffs in 6. And the A's, no playoff series wins, though, in 13 years. So.
All right, good stuff.
Anyway.
Beef, let's do caller number 3 at 641-1010 and come back and talk some college football. A pretty well-known guy injected himself into the college football conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
So we'll kick that around a little bit and keep going here on a hump day edition of The Drill. Brunch with the Tour coming up at the bottom of the hour. Keep sending in those suggestions for Beef and the Wheel as we will whittle that down. That's all coming up.